Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we're going to be doing some solos of attack form Deoxys. Pretty easy raid boss. I'm just show you quickly the team I'll be using. I have a Mega Gengar that I put a level 50, Mega Houndoom, arguably better depending on the move set, but I don't have I don't have a level 50 Houndoom made yet. I think I have one in my inventory. Like Canada. I have enough Excel, but well, if I convert a little bit, but I just like using Mega Gengar. And then as well, recently built a level 50 Shadow T-Tar. This is not my best Shadow T-Tar, but it is one that's 50 attack. And because I have another one that I like using for Master League Classic. And then as well, I have a level 50 Darkrai, and this is my level 40 Shadow Bite Crunch T-Tar, and then I have two level 40 Giratinas that I'll need to get to. So while I'm doing while I'm doing these two attack form Deoxys, I'm just gonna go solo here and get some remote raid passes. We're gonna go ahead and answer some questions that people had. I asked these questions for people to ask you to answer short, but I figured that it'd be very difficult to get through them all with like doing 42 shorts. So we're gonna go ahead and do them based off of newest first, then we'll go to the oldest. Obviously, I'll skip some of them if questions are too difficult or not relevant. So, first question from Icy underscore 404. What would you change if you were the developer of Pogo? There's honestly a lot to change. Obviously, one is to try and implement a fix that deals with all these lag and inconsistencies, whether it comes to fast moves or timeouts or not even time. It's where people are lagging or whatnot. There's obviously a whole bunch of things, but one thing that I've been talking to people about for a very long time that I would love them to see them implement, if it's possible, is weekly online tournaments. So they could be associated with GBL or otherwise, but they are associated GBL. Let's say for every 25 battles you get access to one ticket, right? And then at the end of the week, you can have up to 7 tickets, which means that on between Friday and Sunday, say for example, a 72-hour or 48-hour window, they have quick like tournaments of 8 where you can just queue up, and then you're seeded based off your elo, and if you win a tournament, you get a certain prize. So, for example, if they only release, I know obviously I know Johto Tour they're releasing shiny Hitmontop, but like as an example, you get shiny Hitmontop, or you get access to certain things, right? Just like premium rewards if you win the tournament, and then you accumulate all these trophies, and then they at the end of the year they have this tournament, this larger tournament. As an example there, I think I would love to see some online tournament format in addition to Go Battle League, and then obviously in addition to Pokemon World. So we'll go ahead and get started with this raid. I do have Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball on my Gengar, and this thing has Zen Headbutt and is absolutely destroying my Gengar. Um, let's try to get off one more Shadow Ball here. Looks like I can survive one more Zen Headbutt. Perfect, that's great. And let this go. Hopefully, I don't know what other moves this thing has. We'll find out in a moment. We're going to hit some crunches here, some bite crunches with this level 50 Shadow T-Tar. Oh, it has Zap Cannon. I'm just going to dodge the Zap Cannon here just so I can survive and get to another one. Zap Cannon is a 1-bar charge move, so it will take them a little while to get there. Again, okay, well, they got there. Let's see how much it does here. Oh, man, that does, that is a lot. I'm not sure Darkrai will be able to survive a Zap Cannon, but we'll find out in a moment here. The next question is, if you were very on very limited dust, what would be your top 10 Pokemon per league that only cost 10,000 to double move? So for Great League, I think the answer is like the one Pokemon that's very obvious would be Swampert. But obviously, you would have to look to build a team around that makes sense. So something like I think like Altaria is. Oh my gosh, it did so much damage there. Altaria is also. Oh man, I'm gonna actually. Oh, I should have threw that crunch beforehand. Um, oh man, I'm already on my fifth Pokemon here. These Zapcans are absolutely brutal here. Let's see how much Zapcan does to Giratina. Does resist it, but still does a ton of damage. So okay, Okay, we're gonna start dodging these Zapcans here. Let's see if I can survive. Probably not, actually. Looks like I'm gonna get Zen Headbutt down, so I may actually just relobby. Yeah, I'm definitely just gonna relobby here. I have a team already built, so we're just gonna heal a few Pokemon here, and then as you can see, the health bar is gonna go up a ton. For this is also one of the things that is very frustrating when you're doing raids here. That the oh my gosh, okay, well we're experiencing some lag. We're gonna go ahead and Shadow Ball this thing, land a couple Shadow Balls, and we should be all right. How to build a team? Please make a video on how to build building for the current meta. So there's like lots of ways to build teams, right? And I think there's like lots of guides out there. If you watch any of like Tho or Jonkis's or even Zionic's team building videos or teams, they'll like obviously you go through PV Poke, and there's a team builder, and that will show you basically like what you're weak and strong against. Oh man, I barely survived there. Very nice. Um, so I definitely recommend that. But if you want me to go through an in-depth guide on how to use Team Builder, let me know down in the comment section below. And if someone's already commented and like it, so I have an indication that's something that people are interested in. Oh man, Darkrai just barely surviving there. Okay, very nice. Um, if there's anything you miss about the early days of the GBL meta, um, I don't know if there's like anything I really miss. I'm not really like too fussed on certain metas, right? I do think that like the best early meta was Ultra Premier before XLs, like before like the Wall Rain and whatnot. Because they'll obviously be a classic now, which is similar, the exact same thing. Because it's like before there was XL, because there's no XLs allowed. Um, so I think like I do miss that meta. Oh, I got shiny. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. I think this is a very bad one though, because I think I got like a 1800 one earlier. So we're gonna go ahead and throw a Pineapple here, and we're just gonna throw it here. Okay. Do you miss teaching? So I actually have restarted teaching at the University of Waterloo online. I'm going to be doing in person next semester, barring any changes to the current situation and any of that stuff. So very nice. Got another one there. Let's go ahead and queue up for this next one here. Uh, what's your all-time favorite Pokemon to use in GBL for any league, or answer for each if it's too hard to narrow down? I don't know if I have like any like. There's obviously ones that I've favored over time that like help me reach legend, like Shadow Machamp. I think it's like one of my favorites because they really showed the power of shadows in Great League. Also like Shadow Abomasnow because I reached legend like I think two times using Shadow Abomasnow. But yeah, I don't think there's like any particular Pokemon. I just for me, I like using a wide variety of Pokemon. I have also a lot of like fun shorts where I've used like a Whale Lord or something really spicy. Or I remember having encountering the right set of Pokemon where Crawdon actually end up beating like the only Pokemon that could possibly beat, and getting that in the back was pretty awesome. So nothing too too crazy in terms of these Pokemon I really like using. Obviously, there's some I like using more than the others, but for the most part, pretty indifferent. Do you make more money now from content creation compared to your lecturing, accounting, consultancy? Add on to that, what is more work? So certainly, I make way more money off my consulting work and my lecturing. I would say like consulting makes up, I don't know, like 60% of my income, but only like 25% of the time, which makes sense. This is the one that society most values and I'm most specialized in. And then obviously I spend a good chunk of time teaching, and but I actually spend probably more time total on content creation. It's hard to say because like obviously I play the game personally for fun, but that's like also sometimes I play just because of me doing consulting, me doing pogo content. So for example, I probably wouldn't have gone as hard on the shadow event if I wasn't like a pogo content creator, or at least I would have not done like all these other stuff related to GBL or to battling, if I were just focus on that. So if you could create the perfect Pokemon for PvP, what stats, what moveset would it have? For me, like obviously something with like tremendous bulk and really great typing. So like something like where Sableye or Swampert or Drapion. Oh, okay, this thing has Psycho Boost here, so we're gonna go ahead and dodge. The Psycho Boost is really late here, so it's a okay. All right, we're just gonna do a few Shadow Claws, then we're gonna go ahead and dodge. Um, Something like that's like has really good typing and really fun moveset would be ideal. So like but it's hard to say what the perfect Pokemon is. Nor what personally would I want the perfect Pokemon, because I think there should always be trade offs. But yeah, something like that's why I like a lot of Pokemon like Swampert, Sableye, Drapion that have like very limited amount of weaknesses. Do really well. Obviously, they all have really good food sets. Like Drapion wasn't relevant until Poison Thing got buffed like for a second time, and as well Crunch getting buffed and all that stuff, right? So but it was just like one move set away from like a really. And then there's some Pokemon that have like okay typing, like Wall. I think like Walrein has like okay typing, but it has incredible move sets, which allows it to be very effective. Uh, what is more important to climbing Elo? Top meta Pokemon or skills? In my opinion, skills will allow you to climb very high. Like I'm confident that. So I think there was a Chopoletta on his son's account or something like that. Actually got to top 8 in the world. I think it was in Ultra Premier Classic using like traded Pokemon, right? So obviously, maybe they were like meta relevant Pokemon, but they were very poor IVs. But I was able to climb really high just because he is a very talented trainer versus like you could have some of the best Pokemon in the world, but if you're not able to use them effectively, so I think like easily you can get to on the leaderboard with and we see this all the time with when we see this all the time where trainers who run like really like spicy or off meta teams and are able to make it onto the leaderboard. Obviously, there's very talented trainers like Jonkus or Tho that can basically use like any Pokemon and climb very effectively. Uh, and but obviously having great good meta Pokemon is important. But oftentimes you see like people that climb to the top of the leaderboard use like anti meta teams because the meta teams are a little bit too predictable for when you get to like a certain stage. So you'll see some like absolutely insane teams that climb very high that like functionally don't make sense, but makes sense because everyone's trying to predict a certain meta. So we're gonna go ahead and throw one more Shadow Ball here, and we should be done. Um, what Pokemon do you recommend walking for XL Candy? I think personally, whatever you need. Like if you want to use a Scrafty and then Ultra, I think it's a great candidate. You want to use a Mandibuzz. You want to use like whatever certain Pokemon is. I don't think there's like any best one. The best ones are the ones that you'll need. Do you think Pogo PvP will or should have critical hits? Personally, I don't like the idea of critical hits. Um, yeah, personally, I don't like the idea of critical hits because I think like the more random it is, like more things you leave up to chance, which I don't prefer. Obviously, there are boosts in the game, which are fun to have, but personally, I think critical hits would just would create some excitement, but also create some frustration. So maybe in a very limited capacity. What did you name yourself, Pogo King, or I'm assuming why? Um, uh, Pogo is obviously Pokemon Go, and then King or Kieng is obviously my name, like my real name. How do you stay motivated to keep making content? How did you even start? So I just started like creating like Pokemon Go content way back, like sharing like how to evolve Pokemon, some Pokemon that I caught, stuff like that, right? Like my milestones, like when I hit 100 million XP, all that stuff. So um, and then I shifted towards like making raid content, like how to sell. Like so, I was the first person in the world to have documented proof of soloing Flareon, which I think which was really fun for me, and doing those solos and duos and trios, and then switching over to PvP content where I started covering self metas and sharing my tournament results and highlighting other people's tournament results. Really gave me like that fulfillment on why to make content because I really want to help people improve in their battling. So, and being part of this community is very rewarding and very fulfilling. Like I just got back from Saudi Arabia, and without my content creation, I probably wouldn't have been as welcomed by the community members, and them just like talking about shorts or videos that I created, and tell them how much they enjoyed it or how much fun they had or how much it helped them improve as battling, was a really cool experience. So yeah, so community, all that stuff was really great. What Shundo is your dream to get? I don't. For me, I'm not really too fussed on shinies, but obviously a Shundo that'd be really useful for PvP. So I think like if in a practical senses, like a Shundo mythical or Shundo Shadow Legendary would be really cool. So if I got like a Shundo Shadow Ho-Oh, I think that would be absolutely amazing, right? Because Ho-Oh is my most favorite Pokemon. Or Shundo Zarude would be really cool if they were to release a Zarude again as a shiny variant. That would be really cool. But honestly, I'm not too fussed. I hope that people that are watching that really want Shundos, that you get the Shundos instead of me. So not too fussed. Just to let people know, I have unless I go plus something this morning, I have no Shundos, as you can see there. Um, if you could do any one thing that would shift the meta, what would it be and why? So for me, uh, I would like to see counter, a very hard counter to Zacian in Master League. I think it's like way too strong in Master League Classic and in Open Masters. So something like that, and then maybe like one or two more Pokemon in Master Premier Classic, because I do think it's extremely like limited meta and like very centralized towards this like Steel Dragon, fairy type cycle, and there's like very few Pokemon that break that core. Extra is probably like the most common that does break the core, but it feels like very rock paper scissors when personally when I play it. So I think like one or two new Pokemon that would help to shake things up. Like I think back to Masters League Classic before Zacian was honestly one of the best metas there. Like something like Dragon Tail Groudon when they buffed Dragon Tail, like all of a sudden made it like one of the best safe switches in the game. Then obviously Zacian just really centralized the meta a little bit too much. So something to break the meta, whether it's a new move or new Pokemon that helps like break up that core, I think would be really great. Um, if you have you ever been close to losing your life? I'll let people read my comment response there because it's kind of hard for me to talk about it in a video right now. But go ahead and take a look at that. What keeps you motivated to keep grinding such a broken game? So for me, I know like a lot of other content creators, uh, some of them like choose to stream Pogo or run on. They like the game, but they also like love other games because they're gamers in general. And their ideal world they would be a variety gamer, and then Pogo would be like one of their variety games that they feature, and they would retain the same audience or even larger audience. But for me, I just love Pokemon Go. Like I play it for fun, right? Like when I was out in Saudi Arabia and I had time off before my flight, you know what I was doing? I was playing Pokemon Go. I wasn't battling. I was just going out and catching Pokemon. For me, it's been a really it's a game that I really enjoy playing in general. And I'm not a gamer at all. Like I don't play any other games before or even after Pokemon Go is gone. If that's ever whenever that time or place comes. Uh, would you like to? What would you like to be the best in something by being born, or naturally have talent for it, or try to work hard for it? So for me, um, obviously I would like to work hard for it, right? I think that's like more you feel more meaningful, right? And for me, I have worked really hard for a lot of things but I've also been very lucky in the sense of like having the right people help me at certain points in time. I talk about this. Like for me, I'm very fortunate in my situation that I grew up as a very poor immigrant. My parents did not speak English when but my eighth grade teacher, she saw something in me where she like created a more difficult and separate curriculum for me, and also forced me to apply to this program at a high school across town for like more gifted and students that had like leadership potential. And she drove me to my interview. She encouraged me. She pushed me to do it. She read my essay, and honestly, I wouldn't be where I am without her help. She certainly put me in the right path in terms of my schooling and my focus, and make sure I was surrounded by the right people, because it can certainly have an influence on what's important for you. It was the first time in my life that I was surrounded by people where being good at school was a cool thing, which I'm sure is maybe a foreign concept to some people, or maybe the norm, right? So like before that, and if I would have continued down the path I was going, it wouldn't certainly have been an option. So, um, but I think like anyone who's like really good at something, there's like hard work, and then as well, so definitely some luck associated with it, right? Whether you think or not. What's the worst Pokemon you enjoy using in GBL? Um, uh, I really like using my unique challenges. So if I can line things up correctly, that's always super fun. Um, but yeah, like any like really interesting Pokemon that has like a really weird moveset or really weird typing, or just has like the right alignment is always fun to use. Where do you stand as a human being right now? Provide the current global pandemic, increase in pollution, etc., etc. Um, I'm not sure what that means right now. I'm pretty happy with where I am. Obviously, I have a very lovely girlfriend, two amazing dogs. Very being part of a very fortunate community. Have a lot of opportunities in front of me, so I'm pretty happy with where I am right now. Obviously, a lot of things I want to work on and a lot of things I want to improve. Uh, um, in general, like there was a lot of things I want to try to achieve and accomplish, and a lot of people I want to help. But we'll see as things go along. But right now yeah, I'm pretty good right now. Which PvP patch would you enjoy most in your life? That was tough, and you still got away with win. So I think for me, when I look at my battling career, I think like when I battled Brandon Tan in Singapore in round 5 of the Singapore Safari Zone tournament was like not so much winning the match there. That's fine. I think like that was the first time that I saw Pokemon Go PvP, the battling itself as entertaining enough. So before, when I was thinking about Pokemon Go PvP, I thought, there's no way it's gonna be an esport or anything like meaningful until how they have some like crazy AR thing. You can imagine like in Pokemon Stadium, like you're raised up to a certain level, and then you have like giant Pokemon going out and battling each other. I thought that's what Pokemon Go PvP really needed. But then when I battled in Battle Brand Tan, and then everyone in the tournament stopped and watched us battle, and they were like so hyped up about the battle afterwards. I think that was a time when I knew Pokemon Go PvP in and of itself could be exciting enough. Could be exciting enough without some like crazy like graphic change and all that stuff. Um, your thoughts on Niantic Esport Ready and the current game condition? Obviously, Niantic has a ton to do, and there's not really too much more to say about that. The best meta of Great League to be to given elite TMs. Do you need anything for Great League? Um, Probably like Venusaur or something like that. Let's go here, and I think it's like at special. Let's see. Um, Honestly, probably Walrein. Walrein. If you're not talking about non-community day, let's say non-community day. Um, hmm, Not really sure. There's like anything like non-C day, like maybe Dugong. I guess Lickitung with Body Slam is also legacy. I think it would be up there. Besides that, there's not too many things in Grey League besides community day moves that are really necessary. Yeah, besides that, community day moves. They done a really good job of like unlegacying a lot of things. Like cross shop on Machamp used to be legacy. Shadow Ball on Gengar, or Shadow Ball on Haunter used to be legacy. There's like a bunch of Pokemon, bunch of moves that used to be legacy or that are no longer legacy, which definitely level the playing field a lot. So there's not, besides community moves, there's not really too many things I think you need to give a lead TM score. Do you prefer highest stat product, or do you prefer optimized break points, bulk points when building Pokemon for PvP? For most part, for myself, I just build highest stat product just because I think like those break points and bulk points are really good if the meta is very limited and you're gonna come across that matchup very frequently, then I think having the breakpoint or bulk point is really useful. But honestly, that's not really the case too many times that you can line up your Pokemon against that one particular Pokemon. And then there's like a number of trade offs. There might not be trade offs exactly in a matchup how it's simulated, but obviously when we're battling, it's very rare that it's going to play out exactly like the simulation. So for me, I prefer highest stat product unless it's a really restricted meta. Then I might consider some other breakpoints here. What decision have you made that you have regretted the most in your life? It's a very good question. Um, um, not really sure to be honest, because like I do I'm a big believer that these challenging situations do fold like how your life is made for the like even bad times um can result. Okay, let's go over a couple scenarios here. um One, when I was younger, that I was too focused on trying to impress my parents. I come from a family of seven siblings. I'm the fourth child. I was the fourth son. So I had three older brothers. So like when I was born, it wasn't really that special because they really want a girl, and my sister's amazing. So I can see why that would be the case. So there I really had like this complex of like really wanting to impress my parents, and it didn't seem like anything I was doing was going to be the case. So I kind of wish I didn't do that because it chose me to really mess with my mental state. uh from a work perspective, I've had like a really great career. I've taught, I've worked at some of the best companies in the world. I do regret, um after my second full-time job. So a couple things I look for a really big challenge when I'm looking at a particular job. And but this one particular job, I took the job mostly because of my the person that was hiring me. She was my mentor, really great person. I still, I still really enjoyed talking with her and catching up with her. But I honestly, I kind of regret taking that job because I took that job solely based on the person without understanding the roles or the opportunities there. And the role was like a little bit more limiting than I wanted. Not that I'm sure I learned some things there, but I had some other opportunities, or I left a really good opportunity. So I kind of regret that from a professional point of view. And then from a pogo perspective, I don't think there's like anything too much that I um, regret doing. Maybe some things that I powered up that I wish I didn't, but for the most part, I have pretty happy with how everything went. Yeah, so it's hard. Let me think about that one. Out of all the main series games, what is your favorite region and why? So I didn't honestly, I haven't played too much main series. I played like Gen 1, Gen 2. I played Brilliant Diamond, and that's pretty much it. So it's hard for me to say, but maybe Gen 2 if I were to pick between those three. Why does it feel when you make a team, the first team you always hard countered? I think one, if that's the case, then maybe it's like you know bias in terms of what you remember. Because like I think oftentimes when people like lose with a team, they feel like they not always the case. They feel like they get hard countered, and then when they win, then they feel like, oh, I won because I'm so amazing, right? Like I won because of my skills, right? This is called like if you look in psychology, like attribution theory, where basically when things go right, you attribute to things that you can control, like your skills and whatnot, and then when you things don't go right, you contribute them to things you can't control. I got hard counter, for example. But part of that is like why do you lose more when you're starting a new team? One, because you're not familiar with it, right? Because you don't know what the safe switches are. You don't know how the matchups play out. You don't know how that particular team lines up against the meta. So usually probably more likely than not, or more likely than any other scenario time when you're using a team, you're gonna lose your first game. What are some goals to have for 2022? Um, I don't. One my big goal is or one of my biggest goals from a Pogo perspective is that Pokemon Worlds go smoothly and it helps us really launch towards an esports perspective. Besides that, being a good partner to Cindy is obviously very important to me. Helping as much people as I can, continue down my teaching career and consultancy career, but nothing too specific when it comes to goals for 2022. How did you make Pokemon? How did you get into making Pokemon content? What was your most memorable moment? Um, yeah, part of these questions I've already answered, right? So I just started posting videos. Before that, I was making videos for my class, teaching like different analytics software. So I had some familiarity when it came to making content. But my most memorable experience, obviously, like me battling Brandon Tan in the Singapore tournament and winning that tournament was really huge for me. Um, Soloing Flareon, being the first person in the world with documented proof of that, was really cool because it was the first time that I did something in the game that didn't involve like just grinding out the game. Obviously, hitting him in 100 million XP, being the sixth person in the world to hit that milestone, and first outside of Asia was really cool. And there's like a number of different things, but overall, I've like really enjoyed my experience playing Pokemon Go. Obviously, as well, participating or shooting the commercial for Niantic when for the release of level 50 and um, all that stuff in the new Pokemon for Kalos was a really cool experience. And working from Michael from Niantic, honestly, one of the coolest guys I've met, was a really positive experience too. Um, why does Niantic suck? Well, I don't think they suck per se. There's obviously things that I would hope that they would improve on. But someone did reply to that saying that they're like not a gaming company, which I think is just true. Right? They're more of a AR technology type company. So there's certainly some things that they lack, but I generally don't think that they suck. Um, have you kept it with John? Have you kept in contact with John and or Dustin since they left you? If so, how are they doing? So the answer is no. So for John and Dustin. So I've known John for a very long time, like um, for since like probably like 20, like late 2017 or 2018, and we like play Pogo. But for me, I would consider a John a friend, but we're not like really close friends. It's not like we went out for dinner and hung out like on a weekly basis. But he is someone that was like a Pokemon Go call like friend of mine and like a business partner and friend. So like we went to a lot of tournaments together. We like talked about content and all that stuff. But like for me and like John and I didn't really like talk from a personal perspective too much. But if I saw John on the street or out and about or he really needed my help, then I definitely would be there. But him and I like don't haven't really talked too much from a personal perspective. And then Dustin actually know from like meeting him at a tournament and um, Dustin and I really like haven't had a chance to talk too much. But again, someone that I admire. I admire them both. Think they're both great people, but people that I really like talk to on a daily basis type of thing, right? So, but certainly we've had our interactions. Why is Sableye the best Pokemon? I don't think it's the best Pokemon, but I think it's like great typing, great moveset, great typing is like the number one thing. But obviously, Spiritomb shares the same typing and is not a good not as good even when Sableye is banned. Uh, because Shadow Claw, in my opinion, is top two best fast moves up there with counter. It's debatable which one's better. And then Return gives it amazing coverage, and then obviously Foul Play is just fast enough for it to be effective. So anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. We got through a bunch of series of questions. Let me know if you want me to do these type of videos in the future where I'm doing raids or doing other things and answering your questions. So I'm gonna leave there. If you like, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.